Hi, I'm Mark Doherty, Platform Evangelist at Adobe. So we've been talking for the last 3 years about multi-screen applications, really getting your apps out to all of these new devices that, we've been shipping Flash Player and Air on. And of course, most of you are today creating desktop applications, maybe experimenting a little bit with Android. If we look at the overall market, using this pie chart from Gartner, you can see that there are obviously a number of different screens that you will in the future have to consider targeting. Obviously, this is largely made up by mobile phones, embedded devices, we're thinking televisions, set-top boxes, games consoles, as well as personal computers where we've all really established our businesses today. So the world is going to get more and more complicated. There's nothing that really any technology can do to solve everything. But with Flash Player and Air, we're trying to address the majority case across all of these devices and really establish tools and frameworks working with obviously HTML as well. To help you create content that scales and allows you to reach customers across all of these different screens. So as an application developer, it's going to become a challenge to really create content that scales across all of these screens. And today we're working on Flash Player 10 and Adobe Air to really help you address many of those concerns. But obviously in the future we need to start thinking about how HTML developers, JavaScript developers can really start to enhance their web applications and address these screens as well. So today we're going to look at my own thoughts on how we're going to start to look at these devices in a new way. So I created an application to sort of start feeling out how this process begins, how to really think about the customer's needs. And I created this application called Open Mic. So it's a really simple application in the general sense. It's based on a comedy night that I went to, and I thought, wouldn't it be cool if you could have a comedy night but on your TV at home? Maybe you can't go to your local spot for comedy or music. So Open Mic allows performers, people who would normally record videos for YouTube and look for a subscriber base, to broadcast live events or leave a video trail of live events that they've broadcast in the past. So this takes the form of video. This could be recorded at home, etc. And this is part that I haven't really established how this works. But it could use any manner of mechanisms that we already support today in the Flash Player. So things like live media streaming through the Flash Media Server, or in fact using peer-to-peer technology. So let's take a look at the Open Mic application. So here we are in Flash Professional, and you can see I have really nothing on the screen. There's actually just a black stage, and this is just the background. To really create applications that scale across platforms, the majority of the time you'll need to really get back to ActionScript and really start creating applications that are dynamic enough to scale to a large 720p monitor or a tablet or a mobile phone, or in fact the desktop itself. So most of my code in this example is actually in Flash Builder, and I'm not going to show you that today because there are obviously lots of tutorials on how to use ActionScript here at Adobe TV. So I'm going to start the application. You can see that I'm using Air 2.5, so that's available today on Android, the BlackBerry Playbook, obviously on the desktop, and on televisions for Air for TV. So I'm running this application, and for today, this is a TV. My desktop is emulating a television. So this application is running at 720p, and in the background, you can see a video playing back. We have a really nice dynamic experience. I can use my arrow keys on the desktop keyboard. This is exactly the same API as your remote control for your television. So up, down, and left and right and enter are all mapped to the obvious keys on the keyboard today. So I can go ahead here and hit enter and start playing a video. In this case, as I said, we could have a live stream, we could connect to it using peer-to-peer, we could use lifecycle collaboration services, any manner of different technologies to get access to the content. So the video starts, downloading and playing back. In this case, it's just progressive download. It's playing back from my blog as it happens. And you can see that, I can interact with the content. I can use the enter button. I can use the arrow keys to navigate back and forward and go back to the main menu. Go here and play another video. So that's a really simple application. Making navigation really simple on the television is critical. Most people can't see that much content from their sofa or that lean back position. So user interfaces have to be pretty simple for that context. So of course, because it's Adobe Air, it runs everywhere. And here you can see on the playbook, I have exactly the same application. In this case, it picks up touch events. These are all exactly the same code. We can play the video back here on the playbook in HD, actually. The playbook is really that powerful. And again, it's exactly the same experience. So if I wanted to go and share this application with my friends, or maybe a video that I watched, a concert, it could be a comedy event on the playbook, I can go and take that to my friend's house and show them. And obviously here on mobile phones, I can do exactly that same process. Maybe I don't have my tablet with me, maybe it stays at home or in the office, and all of this code runs exactly the same. It's exactly the same application. It's just dynamically laid out, showing the tiles, relative to the size of this screen. So that's one idea. The application can run across, all of these different devices. We can access the same experience. But when I started to use this at home, I kept thinking, this tablet, I don't want to watch the video on the television and on the tablet at the same time. So soon after, I realized that I was, watching the videos on the tablet and it was playing back on my television. And I thought, there's something wrong here. So I looked around for information on where people use their tablets and mobile phones. And it turns out that mobile isn't that mobile. So the majority of the time, users actually use tablets and mobile phones sitting on their sofa at home or at their desk at work. Mobile really isn't that mobile. So we really discovered this concept of a contextual application. And a contextual application really takes advantages of native features of different devices. So mobile hardware has geolocation, you can find out where you are, but a television doesn't. So when you obviously design applications, you want to add those little features in. Facebook check-ins, for example, you're not going to be checking in on your TV, but you will do on your mobile because that's useful. So that's an example of a contextual application. So I thought, what would OpenMic be if it was contextual? So let's look at the application running with context. So here again on the computer, remember the computer for the purposes of this demo is my television. It's running at 720p on my desktop. Again, this would be me sitting on my sofa at home in that lean back experience. And what I can do is I can use my TV remote to select the video here of Lisa Lavie. And here on the playbook, you'll see an instant reaction. And this reaction happens because each of the clients within my home network are actually connected through peer-to-peer technology. I'm actually using lifecycle collaboration services for this part of the demo, although you could just use pure peer-to-peer technology in ActionScript. Lifecycle collaboration services has the benefit of ensuring that all users can connect, irrespective of whether they're behind a firewall, in their office, etc., where different networking conditions can't always apply. So, as you can see here on the playbook, I have two icons, and the two icons, one is to ignore the fact that there's a TV playing a video, and the other allows me to press the TV button and connect to that experience. And what's happened is I'm transported into Lisa's chat room. So from here, I can actually interact with Lisa as she broadcasts her live event. So I can rate the song that she's playing using these little stars. And I can also chat to other people who are also watching the video at the same time. So I can say hi and send a message to those people. So I think that's a really important feature of applications that run across different screens, to really take advantage of the user's situation, adding features as opposed to taking them away on mobile devices, to use that experience of being at home or being actually outdoors even, and reacting to that to provide the user an additional level of interaction with the content that they're using, either at home or, as I said, outside. So there's actually lots of information about contextual applications available on the Adobe Developer Connection. And so I urge you to take some time out, go and read about applications, and start really considering how your applications can start to adapt to context.